Good afternoon. I am Dr. Ramakrishna. Did my master degree in commerce and also did master of arts in development studies. After I joined PhD in my university, I got the award 2009. After I selected as postdoctoral awardee in UGC New Delhi, and also have completed my postdoctoral award during 2017. This is brief introduction about myself. So today I'm talk about frequency distribution, particularly on frequency polygons. Before going to start this topic, first of all, I wanted to tell you, please subscribe the channel, like and comment. Don't miss it. Keep watching. Understand better. Enhance your knowledge. Dear friends, research scholars, postgraduate students, other dignitaries, other universities, friends, everyone must utilize. This would be more appropriate in the present context so that you have to understand better. Once again, I tell you, subscribe more, subscribe, like and comments. It would be more valuable for me. Now, today we have to start the frequency polygon. Let's start the video. Yes, friends, today we want to talk about the frequency polygon. First of all, we should know where to use, why to use. We should know, we can understand that, then only you can use it. Here, a frequency polygon is almost identical to a histogram, which is used to compare sets of data or to display a cumulative frequency distribution. It uses a line graph to present quantitative data. First of all, we can understand that here the frequency polygon is a type of graph. It is also widely used whenever we watch. Many examples I can give you. Whenever the economic statistics, economic subject itself, best example, demand, utility, consumptions, everywhere, it would be, we can see that the polygon graphs, it's a plotted and also it's a horizontal axis as well as vertical axis. Then we can get it a connectivity of the all the plots points. Then we can get a plots of curves. As we know that here a frequency polygon is almost identical to a histogram. It's similar to histogram. Instead of that, we can use histogram as well as the frequency polygon. Frequency polygon has been identified in the center point of the histogram horizontally. Then you have to identify plot the y-axis as well as x-axis and then vertical. Then we can join one by one lines. Then only we can get a as well as both histogram and frequency polygon. But here we have to understand what you mean by frequency polygon. And also this data has been used a comparative analysis or graphs. The curve here, the histogram is looking like a bar chart, but it is here the polygon, frequency polygon, it's like a graph. It's a straight and bend curve. Then we can get it as a line. And also it is a display a cumulative frequency distributions. It uses a line graphs to represent the quantitative data. Here the uses of graphs, it's a line graph. Actually, we have to see in the Excel sheet, we can choose bar chart, pie chart, different kinds of chart. This line graphs, many researchers have been used at the time of analysis of their data. This would be more appropriate to draw a quantitative data has been represented in the different forms. Best example is that many people has been using the children's IQ test. So the psychologist has been used particularly for children's IQ test. That would be most appropriate. Then the psychologist has been used, the line graphs. It would be more appropriate. So that this qualitative data has been represented, and also cumulative, in the sense we can add it one by one, we can get cumulative frequencies. Frequency and class intervals are given, then we have to additional line, additional column, we can add it as cumulative frequency, my preceding of the values of the frequencies. One by one we can add it, then we can get it as a cumulative frequencies. Also we can get and also draw a frequency polygon. Here, second is that steps to draw frequency polygon. One by one we can understand that. Number one is that choose the class interval and mark the values on the horizontal axis. Horizontal axis means that is x column, x line, x row, x axis. Here first steps we can take in as a identify the class intervals. Say for example 0 to 10, 10 to 20, 20 to 30, 30 to 40, 40 to 50, like that. Then mark it the values in the horizontally. Horizontally we can mark it. Another one is that second steps, mark the mid value of each intervals on the horizontal axis. Say for example 0 plus 10 is equal to 10 divided by 2. Finally we can get it as a 5. Mark it as a mid value. Find it as a mid value of each class intervals. You can calculate, then you have to mark it horizontally. Another third step is that mark the frequency of the class on the vertical axis. That would be in a y-axis, a vertically we can mark it the value of frequencies. Also in the x-axis we can take it as a class intervals, and also finally we can calculate the midpoint of that class intervals. Then you have to mark it. Third steps is that mark the frequency of each class intervals. In vertical axis we can take it as a vertical axis. Then fourth one is that corresponding to frequency of each class intervals. Yes, here there is a frequency y-axis, corresponding of class intervals means horizontal. You can mark it each corresponding frequency as well as class intervals. Then you have to take it as a midpoint. Then you have to mark. Another one is that connect the 3 points using the line segments. After you can point it corresponding values of the class intervals, then you have to connect these points using the line segment in the lines. You can get it. Lastly, all the lines as obtained, representation is a frequency polygon. Finally, we can get it as a frequency polygon. These are all the 6 steps has been kept in the mind while you have to draw the frequency polygon. It would be more useful steps of the researcher. Always get remembrance. These are all the steps has been very much important to draw a frequency polygon. To draw a frequency polygon to the children's IQ, construct a frequency polygon under discrete series. There is an example, and then we can get it as a first column is IQ, another one is the second column is the number of children's. We can get it as a 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 110 like that. Number of children is 7, 19, 27, 15, 12, 1 like that. Then this is the discrete series. This is not ungrouped data. This is not continuous series. This would be the data is that in the forms of discrete series. So that the data has given means the table has given. Here the psychologist has been used these kinds of the tests to assess the IQ test, particularly in the children's. They have to use some of the methodology also, some of the scales also they can use. Here particularly you have to construct a graph of frequency polygon graph, so that here the frequency polygon graph has been constructed as well as first of all the y-axis, O, then x-axis. Then you have to write down the number of children's, then IQ of the children's, so that you have to represent IQ values in the horizontal. Number of children's means we can treat it as a frequency in the vertical order, that would be in the y-axis. And also what I already told you in the previous slides, the steps has been taken into considerations. Then according to that you have to take the horizontally, you can represent the discrete values in the horizontal lines. There is a vertical line, there is a number of children means frequencies has been assigned. So that based on that, here there is a y-axis, one unit is equal to 5 centimeters. Likewise here the x-axis, 1 unit is equal to 10 centimeter. Like that you have to construct. Now you have to construct the table. You should keep it in the mind while you have to construct the horizontal, a corresponding value of the discrete series, then frequency. You have to corresponding values of the discrete series. You have to put a point in each corresponding value of the discrete series, that is IQ of the children's. So that based on that you have to join all the lines. Then finally we can get it as a frequency polygon. So that this would be widely used to assess in the research methodology, or Excels are also used. We can call it as a line graphs. Line graph, it would be most useful particularly for the researcher as well as the conducting of the population census and also poverty census, income census. This would be more appropriate, and also researcher also at the time of the academic research, sociological research, methodology, social work, political science, psychology, most of the social sciences subjects has been concentrating by using the frequency polygon. This would be more appropriate to identify the results. So I hope you understand very well. Finally, I conclude that this frequency polygon graph has been widely used. I already told you, many researcher has been used. This would be more appropriate also, even though at the time of a post-graduation level student, PG level student, by using our preparations of the project report as well as dissertations, this would be more appropriate to represent the statistical values in the frequency polygon with the supporting also histograms also they can use. The frequency polygon, it's looking like a line graphs. Finally, we can get it as a line graphs. So that I hope you understand very well. So the researcher can utilize of these methods. The second methods of the graphical presentation of frequency distributions. So this is second type or second method or part 2 of the graphical presentations of frequency distributions. So that don't miss it, keep watching, better understand, and also don't miss it, get subscribe my channel, like and comments, and also do you follow my Instagram ID under descriptions. Don't miss it. I hope you understand very well. Thank you very much. Have a good day.